How is your weekend? Because I've been having an absolute great weekend, a really great day, but it looks like for a certain individual, he hasn't really been having a great weekend or even a great day. It looks like he's been suffering so hard that he had an absolute embarrassing crash out about his entire weekend or about some certain individuals who were making fun of him and criticizing him and calling him out. And some of you guys may be saying, okay, who is this certain individual that you're going to be talking about today? Well, he is your favorite Jer Bear, your favorite cuckold, your favorite failed coffee company owner. His name is Jeremy Hampley, aka The Quartering. And for the few amount of people who don't even know who the Quartering is at all, well, the Quartering is a 2 million sub channel that primarily makes right-wing grifter videos, talking about, oh, woke bad, this bad, that bad, libtard owned, and all that type of shit. And pretty much, it's nothing really special. There are a lot of fucking right-wing grifter videos that pretty much exist out there that pretty much do the exact same shit. And some of you guys may be saying, what makes the Quartering so special? Well, what makes him specifically special in this genre is because of his interesting history about when he constantly does all this shit about, libtards bad. He'll go after them. He'll go after them ruthlessly. But when the exact same shit is put to him, those standards that he puts out, he crashes out, he melts down, and it's crazy how this guy calls himself a right-winger, a conservative. But in the end, he acts like a libtard, the same libtards that he would criticize in those videos. And that's what made him so interesting. And don't forget, this guy who claims to be a free speech warrior flags down his enemies, flags down people who decided to say mean things to him or people who has criticized him. And that's what made him so special. But the reason why we're talking about him today is because he had an absolute meltdown on Twitter. And this is something a lot of people have been saying because we have been getting little hints, little appetizers of a meltdown, but it's never really the full thing. But today, it looks like it was Miller time. It looks like it was crash out time. And you could smell the alcohol from these tweets specifically. And don't worry, we will get to them right now. And you could see over here, the Quartering says, "It's so sad to see all these people spend hours, days, and months trying to destroy my coffee company, all while they scream about how bad a life ruination is. They are all participating in it. Also, making videos, making fun of somebody and criticizing their shitty actions is weird now? What about when you decide to make 500 videos on Brie Larson and pretty much harassing her? What about when you decide to go after Jack Murphy and make hundreds of videos on that? What about when you decide to harass a cosplayer, a female cosplayer, and you harass her so hard that she literally puts your name for one of the reasons why she left the internet? What about that shit? Isn't it weird for somebody like you to make a video about a man's mental health crisis hours after it and pretending that you have inside knowledge about it? Isn't that weird? It looks like that. It's only weird when it's you because for some reason you have a standard that you should not be criticized, you should not be made fun of. And that's why you're making posts like this. And you know what's really crazy? If it was some random libtard or Candace Owens making a post like this, you know the Quartering would make 500 videos about how Candace Owens is a pussy and acts like a leftist. Yeah. The hypocrisy of the Quartering. And it's just so hilarious to me that this guy thinks because he has a 2 million sub channel and he's a conservative, he should not be made fun of. In the end, fuck off. People should make fun of you. People should criticize you, okay? And nobody has even ruined your life. They just bullied you, okay? They made fun of you, okay? But don't worry, we'll get to that later because he continues with that part too, don't worry. "I won't be bullied. It's really sad to see so many former friends doing it too. It's really pathetic for a man in his 40s talking about him being bullied in the internet." Yeah, that's incredibly fucking pathetic because at least if it was someone in their 20s, if it was somebody like a kid in elementary school, you get it. But this guy, remember, he's a 40-year-old man, I think maybe close to his 50s, saying that he's being bullied. And I won't be bullied. Having his elementary school speech to this bully saying, "I won't be bullied anymore. I'm not gonna take it anymore." Like, this guy's in his 40s and he's acting like this. And also, if a lot of your former friends are making fun of you, doesn't that say more about you than them? Because if all your friends start having the same criticisms about you, that means you're fucking up. But the quartering sees friends, instead of like an actual person with opinions calling out somebody for their shitty actions and trying to help them, he wants actual friends to be people who suck his fucking dick. Just like the leftists that he criticizes. Very interesting how the quartering acts a lot more leftist than the leftist. Very interesting. It's been never ending for months over a fucking coffee company. Way beyond critiques or seeking truth, they are obsessively trying to destroy my life. It's been going on 4 months, all while moralizing and pretending to be the good guy. It's fucking pathetic. Also, it's pathetic to question a pretty sketchy coffee company and wanting to know the truth and trying to see if it's actually safe to even drink. That's pathetic. But a grown man in his 40s pretty much complaining about people bullying me on the internet and making man-child meltdowns like this is totally not the pathetic one. Yeah, it's crazy that he's talking about like these people are moralizing. Well, this motherfucker over time, you start seeing him moralize, trying to act like he's the good guy, that he's the sane individual. Very interesting. Very interesting for him to act like this. Very woke of you, Quartering. One day when they succeed, either via their fraudulent reporting, flagging, or when I decide it's just not worth it anymore, all they will have done is hurt the livelihood of dozens of people who depend on this company. Bro, you don't have employees. Shut the fuck up, okay? That's already been exposed. You get your coffee drop shipped, okay? You don't actually have employees. That company is safe. Because if your company does get shut down, the only person that will be affected by it is you. It will more be like an inconvenience to the dropshipper themselves because they don't care about you and you don't own them. So fuck off, okay? Does that sound like a righteous goal? Well, if you suffering, yes, it sounds funny. It sounds based. If you actually face the consequences of your actions, that's an actual good thing. And it probably will help you a lot more if that coffee company gets shut the fuck down. You know why? Because then you'll no longer be stressed anymore. At least you'll actually have money left from the YouTube channel, something that you're losing very, very slowly. Because that coffee company, you're not making any money from it. You're not getting any returns from it. So the best course of action is just to shut it the fuck down. It is literally to do that. That's actually the smartest thing you could do, okay? So in the end, yeah, it is a righteous goal getting your shit shut down because your life would actually improve from it. You probably will finally actually see dollars for once? You know, human monies? This shit was for the lulz months ago. It's moved way beyond into destroying this company because they know I care about it. Well, none of this would have happened if you tried to destroy other people's livelihoods and pretty much attempt to blackmail them into saying like, don't ever talk to me ever again, okay? And if you do dare to talk to me or talk about me, make fun of me, I'm gonna ruin your life, okay? Like, you started this, and now you're bitching because people are continuing with the game that you have started after you said that everything is fair game. So technically, this is fair game. Okay? And some people might be saying, oh, he probably retracted that statement. Don't worry, we're going to read something later that pretty much shows they still believes that. Don't worry, we'll get to there. So pretty much, Quartering, if you want to play these gay games, don't bitch about it when people play those gay games back to you. Because when you play the flagging game, the life ruination game, that's giving other people permission to do that to you. Okay? Because when they see that, they're like, oh, this guy's doing permission because he's doing it. So that means it's justifiable to him. Okay? So shut up. If you never wanted this to happen, okay? Even if I don't advocate for this shit, you should have never played those gay games in the first place, okay? People participating in it are evil. Yeah, I'm evil. I'm a very evil guy. I'm worse than Hitler. I'm worse than Stalin. I'm worse than Mussolini. I'm worse than Karl Marx. Yeah, I'm one of those evilest individuals out there. I'm worse than Jimmy Savile. I'm worse than Epstein. I'm worse than EDP. Like, yeah, we're the most evilest people out there, while this guy literally admitted to being a sex cult. Yeah, we're the evil ones. I don't make enough money to deal with this. Well, at least he's admitting that he's broke. That's kind of crazy because on stream, he will constantly say how he's making a lot of money. He's actually successful. He's successful. He is rich. All the haters are molding at him, while he's right now admitting that he doesn't even have enough money to deal with all this shit. Yeah, to total success with Coffee Ran Coffee. So, when it's gone. And they laugh, remember, you're not the good guys. Well, we are the good guys because a flag or a person that participated in life ruination is getting their life ruined pretty much. Getting actually facing the consequences of their actions, okay? So in the end, yeah, it's a good thing to do. It's like this argument is pretty much like if a criminal decides to rob a house and then somebody decided to rob their house and then they bitch about it. Like, you did it yourself, so what's the point of feeling bad for you? I know Ian posting this will inspire a new wave of videos about me crashing out, but I have a lot of responsibility for the people that depend on this business. Yeah, I have responsibility. You do have a massive responsibility into feeding people like me, people like John Burgundy, people like Luther Morgan, people like the Chino Casino, in giving them content. You're actually helping us, okay? We're technically part of the business now. It's called the quartering A-logging business, okay? So yeah, you are telling the truth. Of course I care. Wait a minute. So you constantly saying that you don't give a shit what people say about you on the internet, how they're lower than you, and you don't give a fuck was all a lie? You actually do give a shit? What a shocker! What a surprise new lore dropped. New Jared lore drop, okay? This is the important lore drop that we get here, that he actually cares what people say on the internet. We totally didn't know that. We totally didn't get that hint when you constantly crashed out about the haters. Yeah, you totally care, huh? Interesting. I spent years building this, but it's no longer fun. Well, you didn't really build it, I'll say, like, you kind of sustained it or even destroyed even more, but like, it doesn't matter really. It would much easier, oh my god, it would much easier. It would much easier. Are you trying to say it would be much easier? Easier, like, it's obvious that he's fucking drunk, he's fucking wasted with the typos, but you know, to just close it down, yeah, just do it, it's fucking easy. Okay, it's not really making a profit, it's not really making money. Like, at this point, the only reason it even exists is just to own the detractors somehow. I don't know, like, if people hate you, I think they will love to see you actually lose more money, so I don't even get the point. But that's probably the only reason it even exists. It's not even for profit anymore, it's just to own them. Anyway, I spent the weekend getting the website all updated, looking and working much better now. If you want to check it out, here is the link. You know, nobody clicked it. Nobody did. Instead, people were like saying, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you saying? What type of crash is this? Because if you were actually like, you know, a successful owner, if you were successful, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't crash out. You wouldn't constantly talk about the haters. You wouldn't say that you're losing money, because that's not how business work. Like, if you want to have a successful business, at least just constantly say you're successful, you're successful, you're successful. Never mention your fucking weaknesses, because to a customer, when you're mentioning your weaknesses, they will say, well, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just crashing out. Yeah, totally a professional businessman we see here. But after this tweet specifically here, he decided to tweet two more. You could see here, he says, lol. And then the next one, he says, okay, cool. Now we're going to have some fun. I don't know what that means. Is he going to like argue with the detractors? Is he going to flag people down even more? I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, if he starts flagging people down because he's drunk as fuck. But it looks like in the end, he wasn't really having fun, because the first post we even read, okay, he pinned that shit, right? Was community noted. You can see over here, it says, the quartering is facing criticisms over Amazon affiliate links on his website without a clear affiliate disclosure. Amazon requires associates to disclose this relationship, and FTC rules require clear disclosures of material connections. So pretty much saying that's the actual reason why people are criticizing him. It's not because like, oh, for no reason, they're just trying to ruin his life. No, there are actual weird things that this motherfucker is doing that should be fucking questioned. And it's funny how this specific post was pinned. And at the time when it was up, oh, spoiler alert, when it was up, it was literally the first thing you will see, and you see the community note. This motherfucker is posting his own L's on his own account while claiming he's winning. Like, imagine posting your L's like this. What the fuck, dude? Like, then he's complaining about like, oh, why do people obsessed with me? Why do people obsessed with me? Like, you're giving us content. Okay, it's funny. But don't worry, he starts coping about the community note itself, okay? Yeah, it's always a good idea to start coping about the community note, okay? So let's read this shit. Just for when this gets community noted, there seems to be some non-controversy about using Amazon affiliate links to link to your own store. Oops. That didn't stop community notes from being compromised by retards. Oh yeah, now it's compromised. But beforehand, it was not. It was actually destroying the leftists. It was destroying the libtards. Community notes are actually 100% trustworthy. But when it's against the quartering, it's not really trustworthy. But let's read what he links over here. And you can see it's really good news if it's a Google AI overview. And you can see over here, it says, because this is told us to debunk the community note, yes, you can use Amazon affiliate links on a certain or referential website like an affiliate-driven blog or a niche content site where visitors click the links to buy products on Amazon. However, you cannot use your own affiliate link to buy items for yourself or even commission on your own personal purchases. That's not what the community note even said. You didn't debunk shit. You literally didn't debunk anything. This has nothing to do with what the original community said. What the community note is saying is that you did not disclose about the affiliate link. This is just saying that you cannot buy your own shit with using your own affiliate link. What are you saying? This doesn't have anything to do with it. And, spoiler alert again, this shit was deleted really fucking quickly because he realized how much of a fucking retard he's being. But don't worry. Now let's get to this tweet. Remember when I was talking about how this guy's complaining about how people are playing gay games with him, or people are pretty much playing the life ruination game on him while he also is doing the same thing, and this guy was talking about how he's doing the exact same thing, and then I mentioned that this guy had a tweet out there saying that like everything goes, anything goes pretty much, right? Well, you could see a response to somebody over here saying, everything is fair game like he said though, right? And then he says, yup. So, quartering. You believe that you should play the life ruination game. People should go after each other. You should go after them. Everything is fair game, right? So don't bitch about it when the exact same shit is happening to you. Because you're pretty much saying, yeah, it's completely fine to do it, and I'm okay with it. Okay? This is what pisses me off about this guy. This guy constantly will say like, oh yeah, it's fair game, everything goes, bro. But then bitch about it. He cannot even be a real fucking man. But don't worry, it looks like Heather decided to yell at this motherfucker. Heather decided to say, quartering, stop being a drunk piece of shit, okay? Fix this right now! Or some shit like that while getting fucked by the bull. So the quartering deleted everything and only left the okay, cool, now we're going to have some fun tweet left to, out of context shit for some reason. And the last tweet after logging off was pretty much this over here. And you can see he says, I hope everyone has a great weekend. It looks like quartering isn't really having a great weekend. Playing bingo with my mom tomorrow should be fun, huh? You better eat a mint because that smell that you're gonna have after drinking a lot of Miller, drinking a lot of whiskey, it's gonna stay with you. So better prepare those mints. Better prepare the peppermint. You better prepare those things to calm the smell because you smell like shit. And it's crazy how he's trying to act like nothing happened. I know in his 2 YouTube channels he's having pretty much the same post. I'm not even gonna read it. Who gives a fuck? But like he's trying to act like nothing happened. But we all archive this shit. Like, come on, you cannot pretend nothing happened. Well, it literally trended on Twitter. You melting down here. You can see the screenshot saying quartering laments month-long attack on his coffee company. Like, you're done. You're done. You're fucked. It's kind of crazy. Melanie Mac said this is a good thing. Like, it's actually good quartering pretty much being embarrassed on Twitter, and the embarrassment is so bad to the point it trends, okay? But what is the conclusion to this video specifically shitting on the quartering? Well, I believe he's just a bitch, okay? Because he still believes about like everything goes, okay? There's no rules now. It's a wasteland to his battlefield. But when people actually start applying that shit to him because he's allowing that to happen, he bitches about it like a little leftist, like a little woke boy. Because this guy was never right-wing. He was always a lib. He was always a leftist. He is a grifter like Matt Jarbo, okay? This motherfucker never had conservative views. He never was. He has no views. And that's why he acts more like a leftist than a conservative. Because this guy was an actual conservative, he would actually not bitch about it on Twitter. But he bitches about it constantly. Because it hurts him while saying there's no rules. So yeah, he's just a bitch. And that's the conclusion to this video. And first of all the Twitter, here it is, your screenshot of it. I can't link shit for now, so follow it. And also, I hope all of you guys leave a like to this video, subscribe to Mr. Army Army. Let's get to 100, 500, 300 subs, 3 billion subs. Okay, we need to get to big numbers. And also leave a comment, say whatever the fuck you want. You could say, oh, you mushmouth piece of shit, fuck you. Or you could say, you know what, the quarter is a bitch. He's a pussy. You could say that. Say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. This is an actual free speech comment section, okay? I don't give a shit what you say, but after that, I hope all of you guys have a really great August, a really great summer, and a really great day, and goodbye.